Just hit the music on. Good morning, Minneapolis. Thank you so much for tuning back in. We appreciate you. This is Good Morning Minneapolis, brought to you by Onsite Public Media. I'll be your host, Toussaint Morrison. If you want to support more shows like this and public media that's for the public, click the link below to become a member of Onsite Public Media. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Today in obvious news, USA News networks still show that obnoxious Olympics medal count meter to assert imperial dominance over the rest of the world, just to show people that the USA spends more money on our military than anybody else. That's all it is. We spend a ton of money on the military. USA. USA. Last week was the first day the Select Committee held a hearing to investigate the January 6th insurrection, also known as the storming of the Capitol, also known as, unlike the Skrulls, the not-so-secret invasion. On January 6, 2021, a mob of thousands, a majority of enraged white men, descended upon the U.S. Capitol like the laser beam from the alien ship in ID-4. The hearing last week held 4 testimonies from police officers that engaged with the white race riot, the insurrectionists, and this is what they said.
Yet what I witnessed and experienced on January 6, 2021 was unlike anything I had ever seen, anything I had ever experienced or could have imagined in my country. On that day, I participated in the defense of the United States Capitol from an armed mob of thousands determined to get inside.
All right, your conspiracy theorist coworker has seen that bit, and they respond with this.
So FBI operatives were organizing the attack on the Capitol.
Well, you could then say this.
The rioters attempted to breach the Capitol were shouting, "Trump, send us. Pick the right side. We want Trump."
Nothing points out what happened more than hearing from somebody that was there when it happened. So then your racist coworker chimes in and says, okay, but how do you know that it was white supremacists? Well, then you show them this.
I told them to just leave the Capitol, and in response they yelled, "No, man, this is our house. President Trump invited us here." One woman in a pink MAGA shirt yelled, "You hear that, guys? This voted for Joe Biden." Then the crowd, perhaps around 20 people, joined in screaming, "Boo!" No one had ever called me a while wearing the uniform of a Capitol police officer.
Brother, I hate to break it to you, but not that you've heard out loud. And with all these Trump 2024 flags, it for surely won't be the last. Interesting how he pointed out that he hasn't been called the N-word by anybody since he's worn a cop uniform up to that point. Like, the solution to not being called an N-word by white people is to become a cop and dress up as a police officer. And if you say back the blue and you don't believe what this black cop is saying, then you might be, look, I don't know how to explain this to you. You're a white supremacist. Hey. One step at a time. Deep breaths. It's okay. I mean, it's not okay. It's really not okay. And, you know, you probably haven't known. You probably haven't, but we did. We knew the whole time. No, it was even before I saw you with the Polaris jacket. Yeah, no, way before that, way before the camel. No, and I will not be your therapist. Not gonna be Robin DiAngelo. They don't pay me enough. Good luck with that. So there you have it.
Yet another black officer later told me he had been confronted by insurrectionists in the Capitol who told him, "Put your gun down and we'll show you you really are."
Okay, we have enough evidence. We good, fam. We're good.
And some of them would try to recruit me. One of them came up to me and said, "Are you my brother?"
Okay, holy shit, that was day one. And look, if a white man turns to you and asks you if you're his brother and he's not Hulk Hogan, then you're potentially more than likely being recruited into a white power gang. And that's all the evidence I need to see. If you need to see more, well, tune on in. It's remarkable that the Republicans didn't want this hearing to happen. It's almost like they knew. Last week, we also saw an all-time record for poorest air quality in Minnesota. If you were here, you saw the haze of smoke blowing from the wildfires in Canada. A sampling station registered a particulate reading of 422 micrograms per cubic meter of air, 87 active wildfires that have burned 1.8 million acres. And this is all due to climate change. You gonna argue with me? You don't have to argue with me. You're arguing with her, Mother Earth. She's turning up the heat because you can't follow the rules. You gonna follow the rules? No, you're not? Okay, then you're gonna have to leave. Temps are rising, the ozone is depleting. We're hotboxing this thing to death, man. That's what we're doing. We're hotboxing ourselves to death. And I know you love the catchphrase, we gotta save the earth, but hey, she's gonna be fine once we're gone. And right now, like I said, she's telling us to leave. She wants us to go. You wanna keep doing fossil fuels. Okay, homie, see where that gets us. You're seeing where it gets us right now. This rock is gonna keep spinning through the universe until it gets engulfed by the sun, but if you wanna take an early exit, go ahead. We've already tried the around phase, and now we're finding out. Yeah, I want clean air. You want clean air. Everybody wants clean air. But right now, Mother Earth is packing our suitcases unless we get our shit together. I'm sorry, it's a little nihilist of me. I'm at the faux shade, but I can't meet you in the lobby. Girl, I gotta watch my back, cause Bob Kroll's in the lobby. You heard that right, Bob Kroll is a lobbyist. Bob Kroll, former president of the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis, retired cop, involved in 3 police shootings, accumulated 20 internal affairs complaints, beat up a biracial youth, responsible for the focus on warrior training in the MPD, Donald Trump fanboy, called Keith Ellison a terrorist, might answer yes if a white man on January 6th asked him if he was his brother, has an uncanny resemblance for the cops in Streets of Rage 4, is reportedly a member of the City Heat biker gang, which has been cited by the Anti-Defamation League for its white power connections. And now he's cranking up the heat at City Hall because he's a lobbyist. He's a lobbyist at City Hall. What is a lobbyist? And for your consideration, Bob Kroll has already been lobbying for the bills HF 390 and SF 676. Both these bills would increase the fees and jail time for protesters that take to highways. Kroll was actually quoted in these times. I knew they were trying to pass it last year, and I encouraged them to do it again, Kroll told in these times. Yes, you heard that right. Bob Kroll is a lobbyist, and he's collecting money to influence people to pass legislation that will benefit cops. In other words, you could say, Bobby's back. Yes, like any monster or villain in a horror film, just when you thought he was down, just when you thought he was gone, Bobby's back. And he's more powerful and stronger than ever. Williams points out that in 2012, for example, the Minneapolis Police Federation successfully pressed lawmakers to pass a law that reduces the power of a statewide panel tasked with investigating police misconduct. And what are we looking at right now? We're looking at a former president of the police union who is the face of the police, who is now lurking in the shadows quietly, passing legislation that will benefit the police. Bob Kroll, if anything, he's learned his lesson from the past year. It's much more easier to be racist when nobody's watching. That'll do it for us here at Onsite Public Media. Thank you so much for tuning in to Good Morning Minneapolis. We appreciate you. We have all these things coming up. You can check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're watching this right now. Again, we appreciate you for tuning in. Please click the link below, become a member, support channels like this in our endeavor to make public media for the public, put out mini documentaries, turn cameras over to BIPOC youth, and essentially designate space for BIPOC filmmakers. We appreciate you. Love y'all. Our work is never, ever, ever, ever done. See you in the next one.